Today on Public Eye News, the candidate listings for major 2018 elections have been announced, and the Supreme Court is hearing the case on President Trump's travel ban.
Caleb Rydell will have the first week at this weekend's forecast, and Ryan Gooch has details on NMU's women's golf standings. Hi, I'm Anthony Cilia.
And I'm Jillian Wormliger. Welcome to Public Eye News. About 2,500 hospitals across the country received their grades in patient safety yesterday as part of Leapfrog Group's Leapfrog Hospital Safety Grades. UP Health System Marquette received an A rating for the spring 2018 hospital safety grades. President Dr. John Bartlett is very proud of the hospital's high rating, saying, quote, "This A grade underscores that the hospital is among the top performers in the nation. Our patients can be confident that when they come to the UPHS Marquette, they are being cared for at one of the safest hospitals in the region," end quote. And Jeffrey Halstad, senior graphic designer at Patagonia Clothing, will visit Northern Michigan University's School of Art and Design April 25th through the 26th to conduct a workshop and give a presentation on discussing and sharing ideas surrounding sustainability in Marquette County. The workshop, titled Cutting Through the Static, Thoughtful Messaging Through Design and Creative Action, will take place from 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday, April 25th in 290 of Art and Design. There is limited room available to participate, so be sure to register online at tiny.cc/Jeffrey.
The Baraga County Student Art Gallery reception will be taking place on Friday, May 4th from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. for students and their family and friends. The show will include artwork from L'Anse K-12 students, Baraga's K-12 students, and Sacred Heart. The event takes place in the Baraga County Chamber of Commerce Art Gallery on East Broad Street in L'Anse, where refreshments will be served. The gallery is open for the public viewing on April 25th through May 9th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the same location. And the primary election for state representatives is coming in hot and is set for August 7th. Michigan residents must register to vote no later than 30 days before the election. The list for the race is as follows. First District Representative in Congress, which is a 2-year term, has a Republican candidate in Jack Bergman and a Democratic candidate in Matthew W. Morgan. The 38th District State Senator, which is a 4-year term, has 2 Republican candidates being Mike Carey and Ed McBroom, and a lone Democratic one being Scott DeAnda. 108th District Rep in the state legislature is another 2-year term position and has Republican Beau Matthew LaFave and Democratic candidate Bob Romps, just to name a few.
Roadside parks operated by the Michigan Department of Transportation, or MDOT, in the Upper Peninsula are scheduled to open May 7th. MDOT maintains 32 roadside parks in the UP. They usually close in late October and reopen in mid to late April. Due to the late spring and colder temperatures, they are opening later this year. In addition, the southbound I-75 rest area just north of St. Ignace, which has been closed for the season, will reopen on Monday, April 30th. And crews responding to a spill of dielectric fluid in the Straits of Mackinac are now developing a plan to deal with 2 severe high-voltage electricity cables. The cables, which are operated by the American Transmission Company, were damaged on April 1st when a passing tugboat and barge dragged its anchor, according to a lawsuit filed by the state against the boat's owner. The Escanaba-based shipping company, Van Ankevert Tug and Barge Inc., confirmed one of its tugboats and barges were passing through the straits, but has not admitted responsibility for damage to the power cables or oil pipelines. The capping operation will begin later this week, according to the company. And after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
Birds. We love their beauty and their songs. But are they smart?
Bird brains actually pack a lot of punch.
Now, scientists put birds to the test,
They're making plans and strategies.
Using tools.
revealing remarkable intelligence.
They're seeing the world in much the same way that we do.
Exploring the bird brain on Nova.
Tonight at 10 on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. Over 12 tons of cocaine and 1 ton of marijuana were seized by the U.S. Coast Guard in international waters on Tuesday. The haul was the result of a string of 17 separate busts in which Canadian naval ships lent a hand alongside Coast Guard cutter LeGray and Coast Guard cutter Reliance. The drugs carried a street value of over $400 million and were gathered from 17 separate smuggling vessels from the Pacific coast of Mexico as well as other parts in Central and South America. The ships have returned all contraband through Port Everglades in Florida, just south of Fort Lauderdale. And a Dallas police officer shot by a man in a Home Depot has died. Another officer and a Home Depot security officer remain hospitalized at this time. The suspect was captured late last night after an hours-long manhunt. Laura Podesta has more on the story.
Dallas police officers gathered outside the hospital where fellow officer Rogelio Santander passed away.
And the citizens of Dallas need to understand that he gave his life for them.
Police say he was escorting 29-year-old Armando Luis Juarez from a Home Depot when Juarez opened fire, shooting Santander in the back of the head. Police say Juarez also shot a female officer in the face. A store security guard was shot multiple times.
I seen two officers down, surrounded in a puddle of blood.
Juarez escaped in a white pickup truck, sparking a citywide manhunt that ended nearly 6 hours later.
They observed a vehicle fitting the description of the wanted vehicle. They pursued this individual through the area of Northwest Dallas, where they apprehended him.
A female passenger was arrested along with Juarez.
He's facing a warrant for multiple counts of aggravated assault on a police officer. He had an outstanding warrant on felony theft as well.
He will stand trial for these crimes.
The female officer and Home Depot security officer remain hospitalized. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
The authorities confirmed today that they had made an arrest in the unsolved case of a serial killer and rapist who terrorized communities in California in the 1970s and 1980s. Joseph James D'Angelo was arrested on a warrant from the Ventura County Sheriff's Department and booked early Wednesday on 2 counts of murder, according to Sacramento County jail records. The Golden State Killer, also known as the East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker, is thought to have killed 12 people, raped 45 people, and robbed more than 120 homes in multiple communities between 1976 and 1986. A $50,000 award for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the suspect was in place, and he was eventually found. And the Supreme Court has released audio recordings of today's arguments over President Donald Trump's travel ban. The Trump administration says the policy is needed for security, but challengers say the ban really targets Muslims. Mo Langhi reports from the Supreme Court.
January 27, 2017.
Protesters stood outside the Supreme Court Wednesday as the justices took on President Trump's travel ban.
We hope that the Supreme Court will do the right thing and will strike it down.
The justices will consider the president's third version of the policy. It's more limited than the first version, targeting 7 countries, most with predominantly Muslim populations. But Solicitor General Noel Francisco told the justices it's not a Muslim ban.
It omits the vast majority of the world, including the vast majority of the Muslim world, because they met the baseline. It now applies to only 7 countries that fall below that baseline or had other problems.
Hawaii brought the suit. The state argued the ban is unlawful for 3 reasons.
It conflicts with Congress's policy choices, it defies the bar on nationality discrimination, and it violates the First Amendment.
The Supreme Court let this version of the ban take effect in December while it considered the case. The justices will decide whether it violates immigration law or the Constitution. Another of the Trump administration's immigration policies is also under challenge. On Tuesday, a federal judge ruled against the president's decision to end the DACA program, which protects some young immigrants from deportation. But it's just one judge's ruling. Many expect the issue will eventually end up before the Supreme Court. Mo Langhi, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
And French President Emmanuel Macron is pushing for an embrace of the historic bond between our 2 countries and wants to launch a new era of 21st century leadership and security. He then changed the topic to the issues in Syria, the Iran nuclear deal, free trade, and the Paris Accord on climate change, which are all topics that he and Donald Trump disagree on. Macron also urged the United States not to retreat from its historic and military role in the world affairs and to reject isolationism. Macron also nodded at Trump's campaign slogan when talking about the Paris Climate Agreement, stating that we should work together to make the planet great again by creating new jobs and opportunities while safeguarding the Earth in the process. And stay tuned, because after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. This week on UTR, it's Detroit for a gargantuan guardian, an awesome Corktown eatery, and a city storyteller extraordinaire. We'll even show you an academy that's giving culinary kids a promising future and take you to a place where clay is helping shape lives. This isn't under the radar. You just gotta see.
Thursday at 9:30, Friday at 5, and Saturday night at 10:30.
Welcome back. I'm Caleb Rydell, going to be taking you through your weather for today. As you can see behind me, there is a whole lot of sun out there that is melting off that snow that we've been having, and it's really nice outside. So if you get a chance to go out there, definitely go out there. Right now it's sunny outside with a temperature of 39 degrees, winds out of the north at 12 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 30.17 inches and falling. Tonight we're looking at partly cloudy out there with a low of 32 degrees, winds out of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour. And tomorrow we're looking at partly cloudy with a high of 59 degrees and winds out of the west at 16 miles per hour. Across the UP, we are seeing a lot of sun out there. The only clouds out there, Sault Ste. Marie and Manistique. Sault Ste. Marie with 41 degrees, Manistique with 46, Escanaba with 47 degrees, and down in Menominee, 43. Taking a look at the western half of the UP, we're going to see Iron Mountain with 49 degrees, Ironwood with 44 degrees, up at the Keweenaw in Houghton with 42, and back here in Marquette, 39 degrees. Let's take a look at your week ahead. On Friday, we are looking at a high of 39 degrees, a low of 28, and some clouds out there. Saturday, a high of 41, low of 27, and some sun. And then Sunday, we are looking at a high of 58, low of 43, and some sun out there. Well, Ryan, it's heating up out here, and I hear things are hot with the GLIAC.
Yeah, it was definitely an impressive performance by the Wildcats. The Northern Michigan University women's golf team took second in the GLIAC Championships. The championship was played in Nashport, Ohio at the Virtues Golf Club. Junior Carissa Guthrie finished the event in second place with points totaling 226. She finished the 3 rounds with 78, 73, and 75 points respectively. Sophomore Caro Els took fourth place with 228 points, and in fifth place, senior Hallie Hewer posted a score of 229. NMU finished just 6 strokes back of leader Grand Valley State University and was 20 strokes better than third place. The Wildcats returned to action on Monday, May 7th to take part in the NCAA 2 Super Regional in Big Rapids, Michigan. And the NMU women's soccer team have released their schedule for the 2018 season. They begin the season with 2 back-to-back home games, beginning on August 30th with a game against St. Cloud State University, and then a game against University of Minnesota Duluth on September 2nd. The 17-game regular season will include 8 home games and 9 games played on the road. This season will be the second year in charge for coach Sonia Basma. In her first season, Basma guided the Wildcats to an overall record of 4-11-2. With an appearance in the GLIAC tournament. And the first game of the semifinals of the Champions League took place yesterday with Liverpool facing Roma. The match was a blowout for the Reds, with the final score finishing 5-2. Mo Salah was on fire yesterday, which really didn't come as any surprise. He finished the game with 2 goals and 2 assists. The other 3 goals were scored by Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino after he scored a brace. Roma managed to score 2 in the last 10 minutes of the game to avoid total devastation. And Checo scored 1, and Argentine Diego Perotti scored a clean penalty to give Roma fans just a bit of hope for a comeback in the next leg. Real Madrid faces Bayern Munich today in Germany, as all teams are desperately trying to make it to the final in Kiev. Now, Anthony, Liverpool looks like they're going to steal the trophy from everyone else, and I hear you have a story about someone that stole something else.
Oh yeah, this is a big one for you. A Texas man has been arrested and sentenced to 50 years in prison after he stole $1.2 million worth of fajitas over the course of a 9-year span. The 53-year-old Gilberto Escamilla admitted that he had a scheme for the fajita stealing, and it got out of control. He ordered them through the Cameron Center Juvenile Center where he worked, and then had them delivered to his own customers. And with that, that's all the time we have for you today. Come back tomorrow, and we'll give you more news per usual. See you soon.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.